Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Um, Welcome to our 201 first episode. Thank you for your continuous support. Please continue your support, of course. Today, we have an amazing guest all the way from Australia. Before I bring him, I want to share a couple of things with you. My name is Sivam Velautham, and I am the founder and the president at Voiceman 360. Voiceman 360 is a non-profit organization, is operating is in Canada, London, Ontario, actually. And we are working with International Men's Day. International Men's Day has been serving for over probably 25 years. And then around 95 countries, they have different chapters and they are doing a lot of initiatives. And our focus is the well-being of men and boys. So every week, we used to have a weekly podcast, and then we are just switching to monthly. But unfortunately, we couldn't do it last week. So this is our first show for this month, and we want to start with a disclaimer. Um, So we would like to remind you that Voiceman 360 is mission is always delivered with a good faith toward peaceful harmony. The views and opinions expressed in today's episode are those of our speakers and do not uh, represent Voiceman 360. Our organization engages in discussion forums to offer inspiration and create awareness of the issues of men who wish to overcome their life challenges. We are not providing medical or therapeutic advice. Should you require that type of assistance, we recommend you contact a medical professional immediately. If you have a questions or concerns, please about today's episode or any Voiceman 360 content, please email us at info@voiceman360.org. Now, today we have a special guest. I am actually very thrilled and excited to meet him. Um, Daniel Cook from Australia, founder of the Long Way Out project, host of the Long Way Around show, YouTube and podcast, and social impact entrepreneur, lived experiences advocate, public speaker. Actually, you can reach out to him on website www.longwayout.org, Instagram at Long Way Out Project, TikTok at Long Way Round Show, and YouTube The Long Way Round Show, Spotify The Long Way Round Show. Um, Daniel, I think good morning to you, man. Thank you for joining.
Hey, yeah, thanks a lot for having me. It's a real privilege to be here with you this morning.
Absolutely, we have a lot to talk about, but I want to start with everybody has different situation and different scenarios in our lives. How about your turning point? Can you start with that?
Yeah, look, I think I've had sort of a lot of different turning points in my life, but I mean one major turning point would be, when I met my wife. I really wanted to change. I really wanted to be a good. And it's been a lot of struggles, and it's been some success and some failures and some setbacks, and but yeah, I've continued on, and I keep trying to move forward, and yeah, trying to break cycles of trauma and addiction and different things.
I think Daniel has some technical issues. Daniel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm back now, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know where we got up to before, but I was basically saying that
I'm not sure.
uh,
Is it a delay from my side or your side?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. It seems to be all right now.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I met my wife and I wanted to do the right thing and I wanted to being unemployable to entrepreneurial, and along the way I got different tickets and different training, and I've slowly built up my resume, and I've also had a few successful businesses, and yeah, it's been a real process.
Right. Of course, it's not easy, and then we don't know what comes next, or life throws us anywhere. So we had to do what we had to do, right? So how did you come out and handle, especially day to day life, man? Can you can you take us back over the at those moments?
um yeah, look, as I said, it's been a real process. It's been a part of a church, and was really getting involved in um excuse me. Yeah, and so, support that I've used to move forward.
Right. So it's good, of course. Some point, either friends or family members or anybody. We should have somebody to support us, right? Some sort of a supporting system. Um, so right now, of course, you are working on a couple of things. In the last number of years, or even after you come out and then you started doing different projects or initiatives. Have you seen or found your life purpose or mission, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, what I'm doing now, I'm very passionate about. So, probably a few months ago, I started. I'm really sorry about the connection. It's really poor. Do you want me to try go out and come back in, or?
Yeah, try one more time. In that case, like we can actually do through Zoom.
Okay.
So go out and then come back and then see if it is possible. I mean, if the connection is still going to keep. So sorry, guys. Uh, so Daniel had some technical issues and then he's joining back. Let's see. Let's try Daniel now.
Yeah, I've had the same problem when I was interviewing people from the States and Canada. It's yeah, well, let's see how it goes. But definitely, Zoom does seem to work better when these issues occur. So yeah, I was saying probably about 3 months ago, I started interviewing people on my podcast. I believe, I've got the gift of inspiration and encouragement. I like to encourage people. So, doing these things, it's not coming from a place of I know everything and I know all the answers, because I certainly don't. But I like the idea of just encouraging people where they're people they might have went and got some training. It doesn't matter where people are at, but if they're doing positive steps and they're moving forward, then that's really great. So we started the show, and
It seems like the internet connection is not good, or it's not supporting us. Do you have a phone with you?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you try connecting through that phone? See if that works. Otherwise, we will switch the platform though.
Okay, I'll close out of this one.
Yeah. Um, we are extremely sorry, guys, because sometimes we don't have any control. Of course, most of the times we don't have control over technical issues or on the technical side. So he will be joining shortly through phone. Let's see. In the meantime, we do have our live talk show, and then if anybody wants to join, please let us know. Um, let's try through this platform. I mean, device. Daniel. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I apologize, guys.
It's okay.
It's real, real problem sometimes, but that's technology, isn't it? And that's, sometimes in life we've got to keep persevering through these difficulties. But yeah, so as I was saying, we're interviewing people that have overcome prison, trauma, addiction, so on and so forth. And through doing that, I realized, this is great, but I wanted to do something else. And what I've now started is called the Long Way Out Project. And essentially, we aim to have it'll be a 3 month course, but it'll also be ongoing mentorship. So, a lot of guys, when they get out of prison, they, they've never really worked or they haven't had much jobs before. And also, a lot of guys that I've met through rehab and different things like that, they've got really no support. So a lot of them have come through foster families. Maybe their parents have passed away, or maybe their parents are really in addiction themselves. And when you've got not much support, it is very hard to break the cycle. So we just aim to be that person in someone's corner that believes in someone and can sort of say, keep going, keep moving forward. Because on one hand, it's not that hard to go and get some training and get some good jobs, but on the other hand, it's a real process. And sometimes some of these guys have had, they got no license, no tickets, no skills, and with criminal histories and all these things hanging over their head, it's very easy to, you know basically say, oh, stuff it, I'm just going to go back to, breaking the law, which is, I guess, sometimes maybe not a conscious decision, but essentially, if everyone thinks you're a piece of crap, then it's easy to go, oh, bugger it, I'm gonna keep doing that. So if myself and we've got some mentors on board, they can sort of help and guide and be there for people, then that's great. And not only that, we aim to have connections in the community with different employers to be able to say, this guy passed the program, he's got a really good attitude, he's really trying. But we're really in the incubator stage where, as you mentioned before, we've got the website up, we've got a few people in place, but we've got a lot of work to do. We've got to register the charity. Um, but yeah, we're working on the material for the course. But yeah, it's really great. We've had a lot of good feedback. Everyone that we've sort of met said there's a real need for this. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be good.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, because we are happy to hear that all those positive changes and those projects that you are working on. Because, of course, so, certain points that you have been or you were going through some sort of life challenges, and then you came out, and then now you want to help other people. Absolutely, it's amazing, man. Thank you for sharing. Um, I want to ask you, this is kind of like a personal, but it's not really a personal. Do you believe that the society or the system is the reason for those who have gone through situations like yours? Do you blame them, or it is the individuals' life choices that they must go through some life challenges? What do you think?
Look, I don't believe it's the system. I don't believe it's anyone's fault in particular, but I do believe, if there's two people, like potentially two men, and one's born into a house that has good role models, good support, you know, mum and dad going to work, wholesome family dinners, just a real hot, whether they're going to church or in sport or in things that are productive in the community, then and another person is born into a family where there's, domestic violence, drug addiction, maybe dad's in prison, a lot of just many trials, then we can't blame the situations, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot harder for the person who's been brought up with the lack of support, lack of love, and lack of discipline, all those things. So we can't blame our past or our upbringing, but at the same time, when we go through a lot of trauma as children, it's very hard, and we can't, as an adult, we can go journaling, we can go for a walk, we can do um, counseling. There's a lot of things that we can do to help our situation. But when we go through a lot of rough stuff as a child, and really, there's not much you can do. Like a lot of these, I know myself, I had a good family, but I had a lot of problems at school. I couldn't read and write, and I used to cry myself to sleep, and you go through many years of these traumatic events as a child, and yeah, it definitely makes it tough. I seen a great YouTube thing, and it was this video. It said, take one step back if you've ever had to worry about where your next meal was coming from. Take one step back if your mum and dad were separated. Take one step back, so on and so forth, all these different challenges in life. And then it was a race to get $100. And the whole principle of the race was saying some people have had many setbacks, but everyone can be in the race to get the $100, or the race of life to be successful. It doesn't mean you can't be in the race, but it just means you're potentially going to be a lot further back than some other people. And it builds character, builds strength. There's a lot of, I guess, you can turn negative into a positive, but it makes it extremely difficult. It really does. And the sad thing is, the community really, you see someone homeless, or you see a drug addict or a criminal, and you go, oh, look at that guy, he's doing the wrong thing. And but you don't realize how they grew up, or their pain, or yeah, and it's sad.
Absolutely. I raised or shared a couple of very good points, techniques, I would say, because everything happening for a reason, right? At the end of the day, if you can look at that, if you can at least understand that, recognize it, because otherwise, some people, they may able to handle some situations, but most people seems like they cannot handle, or they don't have a support system, or some cases, they go in a different way. But absolutely, yes. What what do you think, based on your experiences and observations? What is the most significant thing that our men face nowadays, and how can we help them, man? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, some of the most significant things men face, I think, the cost of living. I think isolation. I think feeling not worthy. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of weight on men in society. It's a very different time, when I grew up, and I mean, I'm only 40, but one person could work in the family, and you could have a relatively good, life and income. I mean, these days, with all the pressure of bills and um, different things like that, it causes a lot of pressure on the family system. And sometimes families, they not strong enough to survive it, and then sometimes the man gets um, really tossed aside, and yeah, I think, yeah, it's just I don't know how hard it was, 100, like, I mean, 50 years ago or whatever, but I know these days, with the cost of rent and the cost of groceries, and yeah, there's a lot of isolation, and it's 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 really tough out there. There's a lot of suicide for men, which is really sad. Um, I'm very lucky that I've always had a really supportive wife. My wife's, really supported me through thick and thin, and I, talk to her about my different, struggles, and my um, things that I'm going through. But if you don't really have someone in your corner, whether it's a wife or a friend or a parent, or a brother or sister or someone like that, I think it's very tough.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a very hard at the same time, especially that one point I want to
I think you muted
yep.
yourself.
One thing I want to um, reflect or so the one not worthy, it's very important because a lot of men nowadays, it doesn't matter which age group, a lot of men, I believe, they are thinking in their mind, and then they are taking a very wrong approach or wrong direction, and then they end their lives. So sadly, the figures, if you look at the ratio, 78 to 80% around the world, the suicidal rate on men, it's very sad, very unfortunate. But like we said, it's if you have a support system or the close social contacts or networks, probably you can able to come back, and then you can rebuild your life though. So why is it important for men to come out and share their life struggles and challenges? What do you think, Daniel?
I mean, I don't know. There's a certain relief you get when you share your what you're battling. I mean, when you can talk about it, whether it's in a men's group or you know a 12-step group, or we're in a church group. I guess you know when you can when you let it out and you talk about it, it's quite healing. Yeah, it's I guess it's being vulnerable, opening up, sharing where you're at. It's yeah, it's a very tricky thing. It is challenging. It does um yeah, I guess it's scary, and it can be, you might feel humiliated or those types of things. But normally, quite often, when you are vulnerable and when you do open up, you realize that other people are in a similar position, or and I guess that's why it's important to find like-minded people. So, if you're, I guess people that are on a similar uh, trajectory, that are going in the same way of you, but also people that are, like, I guess there's no point in, if you're, battling with addiction, there's no point going to a men's business meeting, because you might not get the support you need. But if you're in a business and you're struggling with small business issues, and you find a small business group, they're probably going to have similar issues and way they dealt with it and way they overcome. So yeah, finding people that not necessarily in the exact same position but can relate to some degree is good.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I mean, it is very important nowadays, especially for men to overcome, I would say, like come out and then speak, share their life challenges, because that way they can connect with other people, and then some people, whoever is taking, of course, they can connect, they can relate to the situation, say, hey, you know what, I'm not the only one who is going through some sort of situations, either divorce or any kind of like life situations, right? So it is okay not to feel okay. It's very normal. So they don't want to, or they shouldn't take it in a negative way, and then getting into different or negative direction though. So do you think that men really understand their problems and willing to seek for help? If not, why and how can it be changed, man? What do you think?
Um, Sorry, you did break up halfway through the question. I think, was the question, is it why do people struggle asking for help, or?
Yeah, well, the thing is like, wow, do you think that, let's say, even yourself in the early stages, right? Like, do you think that men really understand their problems, or even recognizing their own struggles and challenges, and willing to seek for help? Even you can take your own life journey and then use for example. If not, why and how we can change it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. And look, personally, for my own life, a lot of times I didn't even know what I was going through because I was really um, I developed really slowly my emotional intelligence. So one, I didn't really even know the feelings and the thoughts that I was going through. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what I was going through because I couldn't articulate the feelings. If it was pain, if it was let down, if it was feeling of not worthy, those things have really only come to me in the last few years. I've been able to sort of label the hurt. So that's a part of it, and I guess that's part of the growing up and maturing phase. So one, we get to a place of maturity enough to recognize where we're at, and then two, you know there's such a thing of like we all have to have it together, or we don't want to seem broken, or we don't want to seem like we're not as good as everyone else, or and yeah, that's yeah. And I mean, I often am in the same boat. I wish I was more further ahead, or I wish I was, you know, more closer to my peers. But when I can ease those thoughts and just be happy with where I'm at and grateful for today and grateful for how far I've come, then that's okay. But I think it's a common thing that we all want to be further along than where we are.
You, of course, you went to. I saw the profile, and then I saw those all those. You know what you went through and everything. So when you go back and then analyze it, or just reflecting from your all those struggles and pains, what did you learn from your life journey so far, and what is the message for men out there, man?
What have I learned so far? I mean, look, a lot of compassion. You know what I mean? I yeah. If I've learned anything, it's to be compassion for people's situation. Um, a lot of resilience. What else have I learned? I guess that just the different things around building routines, building structures. You know, the fact that we don't have to have it all together, but if we start putting one foot in front of the other and building some positive momentum, and the fact that um, we can get somewhere if we put the effort in. Um, those are some of the things I've learned. um, yeah, just to keep moving forward, to not let your past dictate your future, to no matter what, just keep moving forward. Just do your best day by day. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're not going to have the best day, but if you can, you know, you have a better day than yesterday, and you can sort of, yeah, you can just keep moving, just keep going. That's the main thing I've learned.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I just want to, share a couple of quick announcements, and then I will come back to you. Okay, stay there. So far, Daniel Cook, he joined, and then he's sharing a lot of his personal stories with us. I just want to give you guys some quick updates, some announcements. Open Up is on Sunday, and it's a live talk show. Please, if anybody is interested, let us know. And really, there's a Tamil live talk show weekly on Sundays, 8 a.m. And then monthly men's group meeting only for men, by men. That is on second Saturday of every month from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, through Zoom. And also, there are no limitations to genders, age, nationality, or ethnic groups. All walks of life can participate in any of our shows. If you want to be a guest on any of our shows, or willing to be part of our organization and help us directly or indirectly, please reach out to us. We would love to work with individuals, professionals, experts, community organization, associations, corporations, government officials, and businesses. Phone number is 226 289 8784. Um, Website is www.voiceomen360.org. Email address is info@voiceomen360.org. Absolutely, you can find us on all the social media platforms, especially Facebook. We have a group and page. Join our group, Voiceomen 360, and please invite your friends. And then we do have a social media handles: Instagrams, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and on YouTube channel is Voiceomen 360. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can support us. You can get notifications. So coming back to Daniel, can you talk about your current or future projects or plans?
Yeah. So I mean, look, the plan is to really we want to basically hold workshops. So we want to do so it'll be me and one mentor, and we'll go out. We'll do it'll be almost like a classroom type setting, and we'll go through. We'll have it'll be a 3 month program, but we'll go in every 2 weeks, and we'll basically just deliver. Um, it's all about you know what would seem simple to someone that might have got taught this by a parent, or maybe a father figure, or maybe a mother. Like it's stuff that it's how to have a good attitude, yes sir, no sir, free bags full, things that when you're an employee, like this day and age, it's not hard to stand out. Like if you are working at a place and you really you go over and above, you have a good attitude, you sweep the floors when no one's looking, and you really just um, someone that the boss can count on, you can really get a good reputation quite easily. It's the small things that count. So those are the things. So it's mindset, having a good attitude, and then basically just walking through the process of how to interview, um, being honest about your past, but not necessarily giving away too much information. You got to be tactical about where you've been and your struggles. So there's it's just a course on all those things, and it just really to encourage guys that you can go out and get some good work, and you go and get a few tickets, and then you can go and earn some decent money, and just the process, how to do it, and yeah. So that's what we're doing essentially.
Yes, thank you, Daniel, for sharing those details. So I was displaying the information how you guys can reach out to Daniel. There's a website, and there's an Instagram and TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. Absolutely, you can reach out to him and then get more details. Or if you want to, involve with any of those projects, please do so. Daniel, I really appreciate, man. You are doing a lot of things, and then you are helping a lot of people. Doesn't matter which gender, male and females, everybody. And we wish you actually good luck, and then whatever you are doing, do it. And I'm pretty sure you are a long way to go, but at the same time that you are doing amazing things. Good luck, man. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, we got a long way to go, but we just keep chipping away, and yeah, I'm sure we'll get there.
Absolutely. All right, thanks a lot for today joining Daniel, and then sharing your life journey. Okay, thank you. So for Daniel Cook from Australia, he joined us, and then sharing his life journey with us. Thank you guys for watching, and then please continue your support. And also, if you can, please share this podcast with your contacts. And then if you want to reach out to us, or if you can, please leave some comments, your thoughts. We really appreciate that. And then we will see you next time. Thank you.